Welcome to Drama-Free Healthy Living with Jess Cording. I'm your host, Jess Cording. I'm a registered dietitian, health coach, and author, and I'm here to help you streamline your wellness routine and establish a sane, more balanced relationship with food and fitness so you can reach your goals without losing your mind. On this podcast, we'll talk about nutrition, exercise, self-care, mindset, and more. I'll be bringing you interviews and expert insight on the topics that matter to your health and wellness. Hi, and welcome back to the Drama-Free Healthy Living podcast. I'm your host, Jess Cording. And today we're going to talk about what to eat when you're exhausted and craving all the carbs and sugar. So this comes up quite a bit, during things like when we have like time changes, or if someone is going through a really busy or stressful season where it's impacting their sleep. I see this a lot with my clients who are new parents. When you're really tired, there are physiological changes that cause you to crave certain foods that you might not notice most of the time, or that you might not be so drawn to. And I have found that this can create some stress for people. So today I wanted to demystify that experience and share some tips for what to eat when you're feeling really tired. So if you are feeling sluggish, cranky, you're sleeping, you didn't sleep well, and like all you want to eat is like, candy and sugary coffee drinks and potato chips and I don't know, like all the sugary things. That's not, I think sometimes people get really down on themselves, and something I see a lot is they talk about that they have no willpower. And I like to step in and remind you that a lot of this is your body trying to protect you. Like when you're tired, your body's like, oh no, like my defenses are down. If I have to outrun a predator, like I'm gonna need energy to do that. And our body recognizes carbohydrate as a very quick hit of energy. It sees a donut and is like, oh, hi, glucose, get into me. And, I think it's like glucose is our brain's preferred fuel source. And so, sometimes when we're under duress, when we are going through phases where our energy is low, our resources are down, our body wants help getting back to baseline so it can feel better and do the things that it thinks it needs to do. Fat also, sometimes we experience fat cravings when we're really tired too, and fat also can play a role in energy needs. Fat is more of like a stored form of energy. It's a little more slow burning. So sometimes if you're really, really tired, you might notice that you're also drawn to like greasy things because on some level, your body's like, oh, okay, if I eat that, that's going to help me store energy to get through a really tough time. So I just want to shine some light on that. And beyond that, we have we have certain hormones that regulate our hunger, so to speak. So two really big ones to know about are leptin and ghrelin. And what happens is when you're really tired or when you're sleep deprived, these hormones kind of go all out of whack, making you feel like you're more aware of being hungry, but you're less perceptive of when you're full, which is a really inconvenient combination. So just sometimes I find that for my clients, knowing that can be really, really helpful and just take some of the guilt and the shame off. Because a lot of people are carrying around shame around cravings. This is just like a lovely societal piece of bullshit that we're still dealing with. So I just wanted to take that burden off of your shoulders. And just to know that a lot of this is biology and physiology. But okay, so the thing is though, these high sugar, like high carb foods that, might not have much nutritional value going for them, these could set you up for blood sugar spikes and crashes, and that's going to bring your energy, your mood, your focus along for a ride on that roller coaster. So a few things that can help. So one, don't skip carbs altogether. Instead, what I recommend is have small amounts, but spread them out through the day. So maybe instead of like having chips with a sandwich, if you want a sandwich, have a sandwich, but maybe you have a salad with it because you're getting some extra fiber, some antioxidants, some hydration from those water-rich veggies. Hydration can also help boost alertness. Or maybe, instead of like having orange juice with your cereal in the morning, maybe you still have your cereal, but you add some nuts on top. And then maybe a little later you have an orange, then you're going to get the fiber and the extra hydration. Choosing higher fiber complex carbs can also help because these break down more slowly. So they give you a little more slow burning energy. So things like oatmeal, quinoa, brown rice, and other whole grains, lentils, peas, chickpeas, other beans, things like sweet potatoes. I'm not anti-white potato at all, but they do tend to have a little less fiber. And high fiber foods like berries, apples, pears, citrus, all good stuff. And then you're probably sick of hearing me say this, but it's a cliche for a reason. Pair your carbs with protein and fat. This helps stabilize blood sugar. And this is what is going to help you feel full and energized for a while. So, if we're talking about snacks, rather than just an apple, pair your apple with nut butter or have plain Greek yogurt with berries or, avocado toast using whole grain bread. Or if you're really craving chips, tortilla chips are calling your name, eat them with guacamole. And then for meals, I would say reach for some kind of lean protein like chicken or fish or tofu, and then introduce some whole grains and some cooked veggies. Or maybe you have something like roasted salmon and veggies with some baked sweet potato. Or you could do breakfast for dinner, or any meal, honestly. Like maybe you do like a veggie and cheese omelet with a side of roasted potatoes or a slice of whole grain toast. And in terms of beverages, instead of amping up the coffee intake, because I understand that can be very, very tempting. Because yes, in the short term, coffee or caffeine helps us feel more alert. But what happens is that, and you've probably experienced this, you can find yourself shortly thereafter feeling kind of jittery, a little more anxious. You might find that your mood is all over the place. So I would say keep it to your usual coffee intake, or even go slow if you need to. I'm a big fan of green tea and matcha tea because you are still going to get a little caffeine, but you're also going to get an amino acid called L-theanine, which is very helpful for allowing you to remain focused, but calm and without those coffee jitters. So just something to consider. So if you're having a day where you are really, really dragging, and normally you would like, nope, I'm going to get another espresso in the afternoon. Maybe that's a day instead of doing like an emergency espresso. Maybe you start with a green tea, so you get a little caffeine, but without like the big hit of caffeine. So just take it as someone who used to drink 8 cups of coffee a day. It can be an adjustment, but it can be done, and you will be very happy that you made that change. And just beyond that, be kind to yourself. I know it's, when you're having one of those days where you're like, why am I craving all this shit? Like, this is crap. I don't want to be eating these things. I said I wasn't going to do this. Like, acknowledging that your sleep deprivation is playing a role in your cravings can really, really help. So just remind yourself, give yourself a little reality check and be like, oh, okay, like I want that thing because I'm really tired and my body really wants that easy energy, but I know I'll feel much better if I have this other more balanced option. I don't know. But if you do find yourself, giving into a craving that you're like, I wish I hadn't done that, let yourself move on with your day. If it's something like really sugary, carby, I would say your next meal, prioritize fiber, protein, and healthy fat just to help rebalance a little bit. But don't beat up on yourself. Life is too short for that. So if you are, looking for more info on, tips like what to do in different kinds of situations, on my Substack, I have a whole series called WTF to Eat. So I share lots of tips for all different kinds of situations where, if this is going on, this is what you should eat. So if you're interested, you can click on the link in the show notes or hop on over to jessicacording.substack.com. I can talk today. I'd love to see you there, and it's totally free. As always, guys, if you like what you hear, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. They really matter and help me continue to bring you useful content to improve your well-being. So as always, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for listening to Drama-Free Healthy Living with Jess Cording. We'll see you next time.